consciousazine.com Chronicles.
Hello, Benjamin Kallenberg, www.consciousazine.net. So we're gonna not consume a blockbuster today. Instead, I'm gonna produce. Now, these are all organic portal video ideas, like this one, where you see that. So I'm just gonna pick one. I still have to go back to the 17 upcoming and the 15, so basically the other 30 videos that you can see in the 17 upcoming organic portal videos and the other 15 upcoming organic portal videos, because I haven't had my computer for months and I just got it back with a new battery. However, I've just been starting to make another note here, as you can see. Here's like another video idea, you know. Yes, the organic portal stare. I won't do that one today. Let's see, where are we? Morphogenic field discussions. That's going to be a big one. I don't know if I'll end up doing this one, because that's kind of like Matrix Hive Mind Huddle Bitchmen video I did. That one's going to be a good one. The techniques and tips for preventing energy stealing from organic portals. Whoops. That was another note with RP and OP on there. Oh god. Yeah, I've got a lot coming. Let's see. Here's a few that I just thought of before. Here's the one I wanted to do actually. Let's do this one. Organic portal, Glib, Vacuous, and inner silence. Babble from Babylon. Don't cast your words to the swine. Yeah, that's a quote out of the Bible. Something about, don't cast your, your good thoughts and your alchemical gold onto the swine. I believe Jesus himself says that, doesn't he? Or, I don't know, I'm not sure. I'm not a Bible scholar. But let's get into this, okay. So, organic portal, if you don't know what that is, I don't know why you're listening to the video. But glib vacuities, it's glib means, like quick and small talk, this kind of thing, okay? Oh, hold on, let me check my volume. Everyone's always whinging about my volume. Okay. And inner silence. And babble from Babylon. So, what's Babylon? Well, it's in Bob Marley's songs. No. When we watch the Matrix movie, remember the city they're all defending from the machine attack is Zion. So Babylon is obviously the bad guys. Okay? That we've kind of discussed. Now the swine are obviously the organic portal, or really the Matrix hive mind and the demonic entities coming through the organic portals, basically. Let's see where I want to start and end. So yeah, the idea is, there's no need to small talk. Is small talk saving the world? No. Is it entertaining the monkey brain? It seems to me so. Is the monkey the height of all creation? Well, what we're saying is no. We're saying the anthropoid, or the monkey body, is even a sort of previous creation to where we're up to. What I'm saying is that at the end of history here, which culminated in 2012, because that's when McKenna could put his time wave zero software onto a date and all of history lined up. That's why, and I don't see you having a better theory or a better software than that guy. So I'm going to go with that for now. I have this idea that we're amalgamated now. We're amalgamating. I can go and buy goji berry, which is not from Australia. I'm in Uruguay. It's not growing here. Maca from the Andes. You know, so on and so forth. I can take food from all over the world. It could be in the shop around the corner. Generally, everything is amalgamating. The borders are dissolving. It's the end of history. This is very obvious. I'm not going to go into a Terence McKenna-like lecture. No need to, because he did. So, you know, I have an idea of an amalgaman is already another step. You know, Nietzsche, one of the great philosophers, he said that, you know, man is not an ends. We're not an end. You know, it obviously the universe is an evolving thing. We know that it creates complexity and conserves it and becomes more complex. And basically, at the end of history, we're amalgaman. I say that we're amalgaman dreaming awake at the end of history. The organic portal is not that. You'll notice they're very, very much more nationalistic. They're much more let me think, into sport, into their little, it's always about a box mentality, okay? That's what I notice anyway, that the OP is always in a little box in their mind, or their mind is a little box. It's because they're operating with the brain and not the light body systems, and we're not going to get into all that stuff either. But essentially, this video is about glib vacuities, and you know, what I find is that draws you, when you have small talk with people, that draws you into their little game of distraction, basically. It seems to me to be. Because they're confused. They're the opposite of what I am, actually. I'm a way shower because I see a way. I see the lighted pathway, or where entropy is going, or vectorization of the universe. The river flow of light, or evolution. I just see the direction, yeah? As in, I see that we are not going backward. I see there's a forward momentum, and like I said before, things are not getting less complex, they're becoming more complex. I see that it's the end of history, not the start of history. This has all got to do with seeing the way, and so I call myself a way shower, and they're the opposite of that, and so they're confused. They don't see the way, and they like to drag you into that confusion, I've noticed. And have you noticed that organic portal conversations, they're very vacuitous? What does it matter if the Raiders won the World Cup? Well, who gives a S? Who gives a S? Who gives a crap? What does that do for your life? I'm just asking you, what does that do for your life? Well, I know what it does for organic portal lives. It allows them to have glib conversations with their fellow organic portals and just pass the time. Because they're not really here. They're not really, in essence, they're a hologram. They're a dead body. They're an extension, really, of a previous evolutionary plateau called the hive mind. Now what we've got going on is indigoism and indigo waves. Okay? I'm not going to go into that. All these key words I'm dropping are for you to research if you don't understand what I'm saying, obviously, yeah? It's not for me to make a video about each little thing. Anyway, so, you know, I've noticed that they like to small talk a lot, and I really dislike this. It annoys me. Don't ever small talk to me, please. I don't care what the latest swimmer did 1/100th of a second more than the last swimmer at the Olympics. Big deal! The robots will probably kick your ass and do it 10 times faster anyway. So I couldn't give a crap. You're all 1/100th of a second more than that last swimmer. Good on you. Whoa. Was that really worth your whole life force just for 1/100th of a second and a little title? That's glib. And I noticed they're vacuities. They like to be vacuitous. What this means is vacant. They like to be vacant. There's no essence in their spiel. They're not really giving you anything. There's a lot of people, well, no. There's a few people making organic portal videos where they're not introducing new information. That's vacancy or vacuitous, like a vacant building or an apartment where no one's living in. It's like they're not home. Like I've said before, it's like their starlight hasn't reached them yet. Maybe it will never, because like Nietzsche said, we're not an ends, we're a means to an ends. Or what he was saying was like this concept of amalgamating, kind of, but he had an even further concept called the Übermensch, or the Overman. Basically that translates to. That's German, Übermensch. And this Overman, well, it seems like it's appearing now, you know. People have a bad thing going on. They see this transhumanism as bad, but to be honest, I'm not embracing it and I'm not unembracing it. I simply am, and I'm just floating along. And it does look to me like, you know, that when we sort of half join with robots, we're basically going to have superpowers. If you follow what that Ray Kurzweil guy is saying, and yeah, we could get into the esoteric grey alien agenda behind that and stuff, but for me, I don't even need to get into that sort of area, and I think I might have spelt vacuities wrong, I'm not sure. But, you know, we're basically, he's saying things like we're going to be able to breathe underwater for 10 minutes. Wouldn't you like to do that? I would. I'd like to be able to snorkel without an annoying snorkel gear on my face and just be able to hold my breath for like 20 minutes, half an hour, whatever, an hour. I think that'd be cool. So yeah, I kind of probably will embrace these superpowers of this transhumanism, because I think Nietzsche was a great. Not because I like the man, not because he was arrogant, which he was, and we all seem to be when we're a metaphysical baton holder, like I do consider myself to be. But the thing is, I like his idea because it seems true. That's the only reason I like it. That man is not an ends. That we're a means to the ends of the universe, if it ever ends. Which I don't think it will, but I get what he means by that we're not an end. It's what he's saying is, it's not just going to be man around for 1 billion years from now. And we can see this because already people are gaining superpowers with this transhumanism stuff and integrating technology into their body. Like there's that guy who has that thing on his head where he can see colours or something like that. I forget, it's like this little thing that reaches around the top of his head from the back of his neck. There's lots of examples, but look, let's get back to the main part of this. The organic portals and their small talk and the glib vacuities. And inner silence. I find that, you know, the whole idea of the organic portal is that they're empty beings, yeah? There's their spiritlessness and soullessness. And that's vacancy. So this video is just about how, again, to tell who is an organic portal, because they speak a lot of glib vacuities. And, you know, the older I grow, the more inner silence I seem to be seeking. Not just because in that inner silence I then seem to get off the babble of the Babylonians, just babbling all day about useless things, and in my inner silence I seem to find that there's an alive universe. It's not just inanimate matter. It seems to me that, especially, for instance, the planet that we're walking on is an alive being that I communicate to a lot. That's why I like to stand barefoot on it, or her, or whatever you want to call this planet, because it seems to communicate to me. And I seem to pass that code through my pineal into septum pellucidum images, and further on into my cortical folds and into the language centers, I'll pass it into English. And I seem to find that this universe is alive and it tells me things. And I see things, and oh look, there's a little relation. I call imagination image in action. That's meant to be a whole nother video. So this is just a way to tell who is an organic portal, because they babble a lot about just things that are not really gonna do anything for you. So, you know, their glib vacuities, they don't seem to do much for you. They don't evolve you, they don't give you anything much at all. What does it do for you if the Raiders won the World Cup? Maybe you won some money, yeah, but you get what I mean. It's like wasted, confused, useless energy. And it's really to steal your energy and your time and your focus, yeah. And where your attention goes, your energy flows. So this is why I sit in so much silence, and I just don't even talk much anymore. I mean, yeah, here on videos to souled humans, I hope. But like if we meet up physically, you know, don't expect me to say stuff to you. Don't expect me to really talk to you even. I'm pretty much just going to be in my mind a lot. Whether I'm stoned or unstoned, it doesn't even make a difference anymore. It's not about that. It's about that I don't want to waste my energy, pretty much. So let's wind these circles together. This is why I don't even talk anymore, like I'm saying. Don't cast your words to the swine. Why? Because firstly, it's just trying to absorb your soul, your light, your information that you have to bring into this third dimension to create third dimension, basically. Because the only people who have created society really are the souled humans, and I'll give the examples again. Descartes, the angel came to him. René Descartes, one of the modern founders of science, because calculus, that's why he's one of the modern founders, because he invented calculus, basically. It came to him at the rate a graduate student learns it. So that's how we know it definitely came to him, you know, guided, you know, like by the angel, like he said, or it came through his third eye and so on and so forth. Like you hear of people channeling and automatic writing. I've done that myself. So really, all that's going on is that they try and lock you into basically wasting time. Another thing is that I've noticed is you can tell the greatest alchemical secret that took you 10 bloody grams of dried psychedelics to get to. You can tell them the best thing you discovered out of the craziest trip you've ever had, and it falls on deaf ears. That's what it seems like to me. Like you tell them the best universal secret you've ever... Oh, I found out this, this, and this. And it's like it falls on deaf ears to them. So that's another reason not even to cast your words to the swine, because they absorb the energy and or like they do nothing with it. It doesn't go further like it should. It should go viral. But anyway, so another reason I brought Nietzsche into this is because the gospel is evolving. That's another reason I don't talk to many people, because they always seem to be, a lot of people seem to be lagging. Lagging means, you know, like behind or back there or facing backward. In my opinion, the past is no longer even an accurate guide. If you understand where we are now, post-2012, this universe 2 of creation, this maximum novelty domain, the past is not so much of an accurate guide anymore to this future. Things have changed a lot. But what I wanted to say was that as well on top of that is, you know, the gospel is evolving, the good word. It's not something that stays still. Yes, there is this thing, I heard a quote once that, you know, God's word is the word that lasts through time. It maintains through time. So yeah, that's a really good quote, and I agree. But it's still, the gospel's still evolving because times change, language changes. I like one thing Terence McKenna said once about, we didn't even, like, if we don't have the word, we don't even know. I think he said the word segregation in his video was an example word he used. I can't remember one of his lectures, but I think you understand what I'm saying anyway, that the gospel's evolving, you know, and new words are created, new meaning is inserted into third dimensionality, right? In life, new information is incoming. I think you must agree that the universe is evolving. So the gospel, the good word, whatever the good word at the time is going to be evolving. And what I find is that organic portals, pardon me, what I find is that organic portals, they seem to definitely not be on the forefront of you know, the gospel. They're always in the past, and it's very difficult for me to explain this, but I truly do believe that we're pulled from the future in some sense, from future state ideals. Like the idea of you wanting to fly is going to create the flying car, it's going to create the flying suit, the flying carpet, whatever comes. But that is actually from the future, scintillating, you know, what we call backwards. So future state ideals basically pull us towards them. That's what I'm saying, we're pulled from the future. Call this the forward-backward asymptotic model. And I find that the organic portals, they're turned backwards. And what I say is, when you wake up, you're turning forward. It seems to me it's like we turn our third eye forward or something. Yeah, it's difficult to explain this stuff. I have a whole note on it in bensnotes.weebly.com, a side branch of the main tree website, consciousazine.net. So I'm not going to get into it further, and time waves and time wheels, circular time and all this, but it's suffice to say that the organic portals, another way you can tell, besides the glibness they talk and the babble instead of the silence, like they like to talk a lot, I find, and just meaningless, yes, glib vacuities, but meaningless euphemisms and like societal norm speaking. Like, I don't even have to, why do I have to say hello to everyone? I find that annoying, even, that I even have to say hello to people all the time. Yeah, alright, sometimes, because it can be a bit awkward, but it seems like they really do it because of the awkwardness. I don't care. Why does it have to be awkward if I don't say hello? It doesn't have to be. I don't have that anxiety. It seems that they definitely do. It's like, if you don't say hello, they have this massive anxiety against you. It's just weird. I don't understand it. It's because they don't have the inner silence, and they're all surface, and it's just always babble with them. So, you know, this is just, in my opinion, another way to tell the organic portals. They speak a lot of glib vacuities, it's a lot of babble. I just associated that with Babylon. And, you know, the souled humans, I find a lot more in their inner silence, enjoying their inner silence a lot more.